We're live. Looking a little fuzzy. Maybe it's my eyes. Maybe it's my camera. Who knows? Who knows if I'm sitting here talking to myself? Drinking my water. Normally I start off with coffee, but I didn't have time to make coffee before I started this. Had to go to the store. Had to shave. I shot 3 commercials, which is why I was late going to the store. Talking to myself. Hey, Johnny, what's up, man? How you doing? It's been a day. Very, very busy day. Work ran late. Chilling. That's a good thing to do. That's what I'll be doing when this is over. I've been getting rain off and on all day, so that kind of puts a damper on my lawn mowing stuff I need to do. But it'll wait. Desmond, what's up, man? Yeah, we're getting rain off and on. It's not like turd floater here, but it's enough to make puddles. And then it'll go away and it'll get real humid and hot. And then it'll rain again. Any new videos? I planned on doing them this past week, but the alternator went out in my car, which was super fun times because I'm not a Korean. I have big Fred Flintstone hands. So hopefully I will get videos shot in the morning and get them uploaded. So yes, there will be new videos. Yeah, my alternator went out Thursday and I didn't replace it till Tuesday. I mean, I messed with it on Friday, which is why I didn't shoot videos, but I thought I fixed it and then found out I didn't fix it. So I had to replace it and replace the belt. I know. Fortunately, I can still do that stuff, so I don't have to pay anybody that ridiculous labor fee to have it done. I don't mind if I can go to sleep because it helps me sleep no matter what kind of storm is going on. The harder, the better. But if I can just lounge around and go to sleep, I'm okay with the rain. But when I have shit to do outside, kind of pisses me off. And that's usually the way it works here. There was 1 month I took a month off from work so I could do all sorts of stuff out on the farm I needed to do, and it rained damn near the whole time. We go in waves here. We have to take it while we can get it. Because when it stops, it's going to stop. Yep. That'll put you to sleep, man. That's a good way to sleep. And if you can leave the window cracked so you can hear it a little bit louder without rain getting in the house. When I was a kid, my granny had a porch, and I loved to sit on her front porch in Florida in one of the rocking chairs. Oh, yeah. Dude, when it quits raining here, that's how we get here. Shit, last year, we had really bad droughts 2 years in a row to where it dried up one of the lakes where you could literally walk from one side to the other. And that's the lake where our water comes from. But yeah, when it stops raining here, it's pretty much like a desert as well. Whatever breeze happens, it feels like a hair dryer. So that sucks. Yeah, I've never seen it that dry. I was stunned when I drove across the bridge and saw all land. So we take the rain while we can get it here because we know when it stops, it's done. We've gone months without rain and triple-digit weather. Hey. That is true. We do live in Texas. That's how people act. They act like they've never seen it before, like it's their first day on Earth, and like, oh, what is this shit falling from the sky? Matter of fact, sometimes when it rains, the way they drive causes accidents. Oh no, my window's getting wet. Let me slow down to 30 on a 75-mile-an-hour interstate. Hey, I got an idea. If you're that scared, pull over and don't drive. Yeah, it's really weird here with that. And because of how big Texas is, like my sister-in-law lives in Midland, and there's been times where she was getting snow and we're outside in t-shirts here. I live a long way from Midland. I live closer to Oklahoma than I do Midland. Oh, dude, you don't even have to tell me. When I was doing my alternator, oh my God. I started early in the morning, but as the sun came out, it heated up the fender where I had to lean. And when I leaned on that bad boy, oh, I know exactly how you felt. It hurt so bad. I went and got a towel, and you could still feel the heat through the towel. I only had it doubled, but you could still feel the heat, but it was bearable. But man, yep, you are absolutely right. That's how hot it was here too. Ain't that kind of weird? I live in the middle of the state, but closer to Oklahoma than Midland. And I think maybe even closer than Beaumont. Or maybe it's about the same to Beaumont. It takes 8 hours to get out of Texas either way I go, so maybe not. East and west, it takes me 8 hours to get out. North takes 5 hours, and south is about 6 or 7, I think. They always say where I live is the heart of Texas, but we're actually to the west of the heart. Yeah, Texas is huge, man. You know that. You live in Texas. But we don't really stop and think about how big it is until we're telling somebody how big it is. Then you're like, damn. That delay is not too bad. It's like about a 6-second delay. I do that same thing. I don't check my messages when I'm peeing, but pretty much everything else, cooking, watching TV, sewing, whatever I happen to be doing, that I don't have to worry about dropping my phone in water. Damn shirt looks all crooked. I do. I don't go to rap concerts. My daughter does. I don't. It's not that I don't like rap. I mean, there's some that I definitely don't like. I just don't tend to go to them, especially when she sends me videos. Like one of my favorite artists is Ski Mask the Slump God, and he lip syncs, and I can't stand that. And he's not good at it either. But I just went and saw Kansas and 38 Special. That was the last concert we went to, and that was fantastic. Kansas is hands down one of the best live bands I've ever seen. And to be doing it as long as they've been doing it, that's even more amazing. They sound fantastic. 38 Special was really good too, but Kansas was that much better. I keep hoping they'll come nearer. They're going to be in San Antonio pretty soon, but I hate San Antonio and I don't want to drive down there. So, but they're that good that I would go see them again, even though I know it's going to be the same show. And before that, we went and saw Alice Cooper and Ace Frehley. We saw Theo Vaughn. That's not music, but he really is funny. And the thing I really like about him that sets him off from everyone else is his cadence, the way he delivers it. It's off. And I really like that. It's really appealing that it's not just the same old shit where you're going, oh yeah. So I think even when he does do something that's stereotypical, it doesn't sound stereotypical. I think I've only reacted to one song from him that I didn't like or didn't care for as much as the other ones. But yeah, I really like him. My daughter is a big fan of the Suicide Boys, and she goes and sees them every year. I think she's going to see them again soon. I think. But that's where she saw Ski Mask was with the Suicide Boys. I was kind of let down. But it saved me from making a mistake of going and then being pissed off. I like a lot of their music, but I don't like all of it, but I like a lot of it. And mostly with them, what I like about it is the way they do their vocals. It sounds more like an instrument than, I mean, because you know it's the Suicide Boys. They have a style. It's not cookie cutter. You know it's them when you hear it. So I really like that. But yeah, she loves them. I like them. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I do like the way that they do their vocals. I used to really like Zilla Kami, but I haven't heard any. I've tried to react to him a couple of times, and yeah, kind of like Ghostman. I liked City Morgue while they were doing what they were doing. I liked Little TJ. There's several that I liked. Yeah, that's what I heard. There's been a few of those guys that have fell off. I mean, regardless if it's true or not, they kind of fall off. But if it is true, we were just talking about that the other day. I don't understand celebrities. Hey, sweetie. I don't understand celebrities that do shit like that. When you're a celebrity, you can find plenty of people that'll do what you want them to do that won't get you in trouble. And I like Zilla Kami better than Sos Mula. I was okay with him, but I just like Zilla Kami better. I liked his style. There's some guys I like that Right. But I agree with you. I feel the same way, but especially doing what I do, you kind of have to step back until you know. I mean, the shit that, what was his name? Lil Tokyo? That shit wasn't accusations. That was proven. And it's weird. I stepped back from him and people kept going, no, no, it's okay. Do it. No. And I liked him. I liked his music. But there's a lot of artists that are really good and people just won't watch. They don't pay any attention to them. And it's weird because then you got guys like NBA Youngboy who release the same damn song over and over and over and over and over. And they're getting billions of views. People just eat that shit up. And it's the same damn song. I've proven that, which just pissed people off when I proved it. But, and I know a lot of it has to do with record labels for a lot of artists because they wave that little bit of money up under their nose and they do whatever they're told. And because it's the same thing that killed metal, it's going to kill rap too. Because the record labels figure, oh, if one does this good, we should have 100. Yeah, it's garbage. It's this literally. I've shown there. I think the video's still up. I put like 3 or 4 of his songs together to show it's the same damn song. And when I point that out to people, there are people that will get pissed. I'm talking about kids at work when we have a face-to-face conversation. I don't get it. It's garbage. I mean, it's not good in the first place. But then when you realize it's the same song over and over, it's really not good. But then you got artists that are next level stuff and people just don't give a shit. And I don't get that. I love music and I always want to hear new, good music. I mean, I love the Japanese metal bands, but some of them are too good. It's so polished and perfect that it's almost, but they put in the work, the dedication, and they help each other. That's another thing I like, is how positive they are with each other. It's not a competition with the Japanese bands. They do what they do and they help each other out when need be. I mean, it's not uncommon for one person to be in 3 or 4 bands at one time, helping out the other bands. They're in one core band and helping out other bands. But I really like that. That shows you don't have to screw people over. There's room for everybody. I mean, look how many bands there are. But you got young bands here, and I'm glad to see like 70s and 80s rock making a comeback. There's a handful of bands that I really like, and I keep reacting to them, but people just don't give a shit. But I keep reacting because I like them. And then you got the bands that aren't as good as their fans think they are, and they go way overboard when you don't say what they want you to say. And I've had that happen many times. It's a good thing I don't care. I'm being honest. And like I tell them, I sleep well at night because I'm not being fake. If you want a phony reaction, there's plenty of channels out there. They'll say what you want them to say. They'll do what you want them to do. Hey, Keith, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I know a lot of people like that too. Speaking of the radio, I did some spots for this station that I listen to. Not for me, it was their commercials, but they had me do some voiceover work. And this morning, one of the commercials that I did was on, and it was about halfway through before I realized it was me. I was sitting there, I went, oh, that's me talking. It's not like I don't know what my recorded voice sounds like. I mean, I do this, so I hear my recorded voice all the time. It looks a little dark in here. Is my lights turned down? Let's see what happens. Let's play a little bit, shall we? Huh. I don't know. Do I look a little dark to y'all? I don't mean my skin. I've been out in the sun. I should look darker. I don't know. I guess it's okay. Looks fine. Okay, cool. Must just be my eyes. Maybe I have a tumor and it's like going behind my eyes. The lights are going out. What? But anyways, Keith, when I was a kid, I hated it. Not yours, mine. Uh, I hated my recorded voice. But then when I started DJing when I was 18, I got used to hearing my voice. And then you start getting into the psychology of it and breathing properly and singing. Because when I first started singing, I just sang. I did like took the Vincent Hill approach, just did it. But then when I got older, after I had wrecked my voice, I had to start learning proper breathing techniques and all that kind of stuff. Start getting into the psyche of your voice. The voice you hear is not how your voice actually sounds, because it's a mixture of what's coming through your ears and it's echoing in your head. Kind of. It's in that area. It's not like up here echoing around. So what you hear is not what we hear. We hear it differently. And you don't see yourself the same either. You don't see yourself when you look in the mirror. That's why when you see a picture of yourself, you're like, oh, either I look better in pictures or I look like shit in pictures. You look different. Mostly because your body gets used to seeing things. I mean, you can notice a drastic change. But yeah, when I first heard my recorded voice as a kid, probably about 10-ish, 11, I hated it. I was like, oh my God, I sound like a dork. Which I might still sound like a dork, but I know what I'm doing now as far as speech. Like I talk fast so y'all don't hear my southern accent as heavy as it really is. If I talk slower, you would think I was doing it on purpose. But I talk faster so that y'all don't hear it. I don't really care. I just get tired of people going, "Do you always talk like that?" No. I'm doing it for your entertainment. Since I didn't have my cup of coffee to start this, I'm probably going to burn through this water and end up having to take a pee break. I haven't had to do that in a long time. Oh, Keith, you were here last week. The ghost voice that Gary and Mark were talking about, you cannot miss it. I did not hear that voice at all when I was recording. I thought they were talking about the song, which is why I backed the song up to listen to it. But Gary emailed me the timestamp. And when we went back and watched it, I know some people, it lasts for about a minute. I know some people are going to say, because my mouth moves a few times, that they're going to say I did it. But if you watch all the way towards the end, you can see my hand's not near my mouth. My lips aren't moving, but you can hear the voice. You can't make out what they're saying, but it's pretty weird. I'm going to record it with my program and I'll edit it so that it's just that, and I'll post that video. But that was pretty wild. That was 2 times in a row where we mentioned ghosts in my house, and like the time before I saw one walk in here, and then that time we heard the voice. But the fact that we caught it on here as well as we did was pretty impressive. I wish I could have understood what they said. Well, I'm saying I wish I heard what they said. Oh, dude. I'm digging the shit out of Big X the Plug, man. A friend of mine from work recommends him. And I'm digging the shit out of him because he's got that late 70s, early 80s vibe with his rap. So even though it's not dated as far as subject matter, the subject matter is more up to date. He's got that vibe, and that is such a cool vibe. I am digging the shit out of him. As a matter of fact, I need something new to react to. The last reaction that I did, I released that reaction, I think, on Tuesday. And that Thursday, we went to the baseball game. And right when we got to our seats, that song came on. But yeah, I'm digging the shit out of him. You know, there's some of the modern rap I like, but for the most part, I like that old cool shit. I think you did. Uh, I think he did, Keith. I don't think he took it that way. I was too focused on trying to figure out what they were talking about. Um, Let me check and make sure, dude. Let's see. Big X the plug. Oh no, don't do that. Damn it. I tell you what. Man, I got a whole bunch of shit in here that I won't react to. I'm afraid to delete that list though. Hey, dude, I don't see. Oh, wait, did I take a picture of it? Maybe that's what I did. I remember you saying something. Hey, dude, I don't see it. So tell me what it is again so I can put it on my list right now. Oh, wait, is that it? Where it is? No. All right. Give me that song again so I can put it on right now while you're watching. You can see I'm doing it because it's not on here. That's weird. Yes, I got that SPM on here. So you did recommend that. Texas with mix. All right. All right. I got that on there, dude. Cool. Done. Put me back up here so I can watch me in case I freeze up. I'm sure that's awesome to watch on camera. I'm glad I shaved. My camera's looking pretty good today. I was looking pretty gruff. You might be able to see the blood spots from where I cut myself because I was in a hurry shaving. I was like, don't cut yourself because you're fixing me on camera. Don't tell me what to do. Had this paper towel because I was bleeding all over it. I'm probably not supposed to show that on YouTube. Oh, my favorite things to watch. Hey, I was literally fixing to tell you. Oh, I love documentaries. Vietnam. Vietnam vets are my heroes. What is XP for? Are we playing? You got me confused, Keith. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Desmond, I love watching documentaries. I watch documentaries about anything almost. My wife walked in, saw me watching a documentary on the world's greatest sushi chef. She's like, "Do you plan on becoming a sushi chef?" Nope, this is fascinating. And it was absolutely amazing. But yes, Vietnam is going to sound weird. My favorite war, as far not favorite as in, hey, let's do it again. Oh, that was weird. Where the hell did that come from? The other day at work, I felt something touching my face, and I pulled my glasses off. There was a spider, a little tiny spider, had a little web spun from my lens, and it was bouncing off of my cheek. That was fun. I watch documentaries on all sorts of shit, dude. I mean, if it's a good documentary, I'll watch it. The Pee Wee Herman documentary was good. I just watched it. Yes, absolutely. And all the shit that they had to endure. And they didn't get welcomed back as heroes. That's the other thing. But yeah, I watch documentaries. I love documentaries. Me and Savannah have started watching. There's only 3 seasons of it on Netflix. It's called Son of a Critch. I really like that show. In comparison, it's like the Canadian version of the Goldbergs, but I think I like it better. And I love the Goldbergs. We've been through the entire series multiple times. We're almost done with Son of a Critch. We're going to start over. And YouTube, just in case you're listening, I'm saying Critch, Critch. I am not saying a bad word. Oh, I thought you were doing that on purpose, Keith. Look at you. You go, boy. You're going to watch the Jeffrey documentary? The hell is that, Savannah? Jeffrey who? Jeffrey Dahmer? Hey, Gary. Hey, you're number 2. All right, Desmond, we'll still be here. Hey, Gary, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad he liked the message. I was really worried about sending that because, yeah, I don't know if you're going to like that, Savannah, but okay. But that's weird as doing y'all number 1 and number 2. I don't think you're a number 2, Gary. You're number 1 in my book, buddy. You're tied right there with Keith. But yes, I hope he's doing better. I really hope he did enjoy it. That was truly from the heart. I hope it did some kind of good. I mean, I don't know. But I worry about both of you all the time. So no, I said you're not a number 2. I said you're a number 1. So I'm calling you a piss if I'm calling you anything. I'm not putting those titles on there. YouTube's doing that. YouTube made Keith number 1, and now that you're here, it's made you number 2. So you should probably file a complaint with YouTube. Not about me, about them calling you a number 2 and giving you a crown. So you're the best number 2. I don't know, dude. I've never seen him before now. When Keith popped in, I thought he had added that to his username. But he said he made a comment about it. Literally had just made a comment right before you showed up. I don't know. We guys, we got to wait and see who gets number 75. I guess you got a crown. Like I told Alex last week, no matter how hard you polish a turd, it's still a turd. I'm glad y'all showed up. I don't think it'll give you the number 3, Gary. Because if you leave and come back, you're still going to be number 2. So I don't think it'll give you number 3. We got to see who shows up to be number 3. Maybe Speck will show up and it'll make him number 3. You know what a number 3 is, right? No, sweetie, you don't have a number. But you don't come here like they do. They come here all the time. But Gary's been kind of sporadic lately, so I don't know. But YouTube apparently remembers them. You don't come here all the time like you used to. So no, you don't have a number. You would see it by your name if you did. Oh, you ain't the only one. We're all confused. We don't know why it's happening. No, if you take a number 3, that's where it's an upper decker. You put it up in the tank. Not really. I can't say on here what a number 3 is. I'll get in trouble. I was trying to be nice and say it was an upper decker, but it's not. Oh, man. This Saturday, me, Savannah, and my daughter, and hopefully my wife are going to some museums and going antiquing. It's kind of looking that way. Hopefully something else will happen this week. I haven't posted that video yet. I haven't had a chance to edit. I've been really busy. Like I told them last week on Thursday, the alternator started going out in my car. I thought I fixed it Friday, trying to be a cheap individual and not buy another one. Ended up going out. So Tuesday, I had to spend Tuesday replacing it. I got boo-boos. I got grease still stuck in my hand. Hey, did I tell y'all last week I had broke a rib or a couple of ribs 13 years ago and didn't realize it till last week? No, because I realized on Friday I couldn't have told you that. It kind of hurt at the time. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. I mean, I think I can show y'all. Well, maybe I can show you the picture, because I got a pretty good picture of it because I had to send it to my kids. Okay. This is what my normal ribs look like. That's on the right side. This is on the left side. I didn't notice that I did that 13 years ago and didn't realize I did it. Oh, no, I already bought a brand new alternator. I don't want an antique one. But see that big ass dent right there? I don't know how I didn't notice that. I've had that for 13 years and I just noticed the other day. I don't look as tan on screen there as I do in this picture. But yeah, so that's where I broke it and I didn't get it fixed. And it's too late now. Yeah, it kind of does. When you feel it, you can feel where the rib healed up under the cage. I don't know if the one below it did that, but the one on top definitely did. It's about the size of a vegetable can. There's a circle there. And it probably didn't help that I was building fence while it was still broke because it had to be built. I'm not a wuss, so I didn't stop. Yeah, it didn't do me a whole lot of good. I mean, I'm not too tripped out about it. I don't know how I missed it for that long. How I didn't know. I knew what I did when I did it. I didn't know to the extent. But when I was talking to my stepmom about it yesterday, I was a little chunkier back then. So maybe that's why I didn't notice. Now that I've lost the weight, I've gotten toned up and don't have all that body fat. Maybe that's why I can see it now and feel it now. But I guess it's kind of cool. It matches my crooked fingers. Because when I break my fingers, I don't go to the doctor. I set it to where it doesn't hurt. I tape it up and let it heal. Oh, how did I do it? Oh, well, that's a big story. One of our dogs, when he got big enough, decided he did not like one of our other dogs. Now, he never attacked the other dog. He never attacked any of the cats. He never snapped at our children. But for whatever reason, he decided he didn't like her. So he would grab her by the throat and start shaking, and he would bite her so hard she couldn't even bark. So I had just went to bed. It was a work night. I heard him attack her and them screaming at him. So I went in there to help. And when I went, you go down our hallway into our dining room, and there's a bar between the dining room and the kitchen. The water had been spilled from the dish, the water dish. So I slipped in the water and I fell full force on the edge of the bar and snapped those ribs. And the next day at work, I felt a little pain. I didn't think much about it. And then that next Tuesday, when I was building fence and I was using the T-post driver, it kept feeling like I was being stabbed with a knife. So when I looked, yeah, I have a picture of the bruise. And this will tell you how old it is, because the picture that I used to take, the phone that I used to take the picture of the bruise was my Motorola Fire, I think so it was called. Oh, there's the bruise when it happened. Yeah, I know, but I think maybe I might have needed to get it at least moved back into place. I know there's not a whole lot they can do, but that was the bruise. That was a couple of days after it happened. But I know they can't fix it. No, they're fine. Don't feel bad for laughing, Savannah. I'm fine. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They might have strapped me up, but they would have done x-rays to see where the bone was at. I don't think there's a free-floating fragment. I think it just broke loose and then healed up under the upper part. But it doesn't hurt. I have no discomfort whatsoever. But when I first did it, I didn't cough up blood. I didn't have any problems breathing. I didn't have pain when I breathed. It was only when I flexed. If I did something strenuous and the muscles tensed or constricted, then I had pain. But I don't know, 6 weeks later, I felt fine. But I think that rib that right there healed up under my rib cage. I probably could. But I don't care. It doesn't hurt me now. I do cable crunches with 160 pounds of resistance. It doesn't hurt. So it doesn't hurt at all. There's no discomfort. It's just there's that big hole right there. You would have thought that I would have felt it more, because all things considered, it didn't hurt that bad. It didn't hurt that bad when I bounced a running chainsaw off of my knee, and I super glued that shut. I didn't go to the doctor for that. When I ran my thumb across the table saw, that's what this right here, ran my thumb across the table saw and it went through the tip of my thumb. I did go to the doctor for that because I wanted to make sure. Well, I don't want to do that. I kind of enjoy being a dude. Not kind of, totally. For sure. I don't want to be no woman. Yeah, I look darker back here. I like that. That's the tone. That's a good tone. You can tell I've been out in the sun quite a bit lately. I don't look like Casper. Toxic masculinity. I think I used to have that. I don't think I'm so toxic anymore. Oh, no, I didn't even stop. I bounced off of that and did that. I went in there and I punched him in the face. That's how you make them stop. And he instantly stopped. It's kind of like when someone goes into hysterics and you have to slap them to make them stop. It's the same scenario. But no, I didn't lay on the floor. Matter of fact, once it was all over, I just went back to bed like nothing happened. I didn't realize till the next day I really hurt something. But no, I'm not that dude. When I bounced the chainsaw off my knee, I super glued it shut and I went back to work. Matter of fact, I was in college at the time and I had a cycling class, which I took 2 days off from the cycling class to make sure because it really did hurt. Even though it was super glued shut, it still hurt pulling against it. But I did not skip either one of my swimming classes. I had water aerobics and I had a swimming class. I took 3 PE classes in one semester. But rub dirt on it, walk it off. Absolutely. Dude, when I think of all the shit we did as kids to stop bleeding and stuff, I've put dirt on wounds before. Had old man teach me to put cigarette tobacco on them. Another guy said to use chewing tobacco, but I don't chew tobacco. But I've ripped open many of cigarettes and stuck them on cuts. But now I super glue them shut. I've done that for years. I started out using electrical tape and then duct tape. Oh, dude, I've broken my finger so many times. But my favorite one, I've broken this one twice. First time with a 2-pound sledgehammer. And the second time, I was talking to someone and I tripped. And when I put my hand back to catch myself, it snapped this off. Have I watched any of the Gen X videos? I don't know. I mean, I see Gen X videos on TikTok, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Are you trying to ask me stuff in code, Keith? You've asked me several questions where I'm like, I don't know. But the second time I broke this, and it looked almost exactly the same. When I broke it with a hammer, I was driving stakes while I was doing concrete work. And somebody said, look at that girl. And I looked up, but I was already coming down. And I don't know why I stuck my finger out, but I bent my finger around the stake. Reset it good as I could, duct taped it. I may have put a stick by it. I remember wrapping duct tape around it. I had to finish working. I couldn't just leave work. And then when I broke it the second time, it bent like that. And this kid, I grabbed my hand and the kid goes, what happened? I said, I broke my finger. He said, no, you didn't. When I showed him, he goes, oh my God, what do you want me to do? I said, nothing. I'm going to set it. He goes, no, you're not. I thought he was going to throw up as he kept watching me pull my finger out and put it back until it wasn't hurting. He's under top message. Oh, I have live chat on. I don't have. Oh, Gary Keith, I have the answer to your questions. I think I've seen some of those. I have answer to your questions, guys. Both of you are top fans. They stuck this new thing up here. So both of you are top fans. Let me click on top fans. Yep. That's what it is. Y'all are my top fans. How about that? Thanks, guys. I would say I'd send you something, but I've already sent Gary a buttload of stuff. I don't know if I ever sent Keith anything. I appreciate y'all being here. My top fans. Feel the breeze. And the crowd goes wild. I should send Keith something. You want something, Keith? You can't even send me an email? Why is that? Oh, yeah, you tried to send me an email before. Huh. Oh, Gary, I'm not tripping at all, man. If you send me something super dope, I'll be super appreciative, but I'm not tripping at all, man. Um, he's tried to send me email at Yahoo. Now, oh, I wonder if you spelled are you sure you spelled my name right, Keith? Because a lot of people tend to leave off the second B, like I don't know how to spell my name. I think you're the only person that has trouble. I mean, sometimes Gary will send me multiple messages and one will come to my inbox and the other one will go to my spam. But it seems like I remember us talking about that. Uh, then all you got to do is delete that contact and redo it. I've had to do that because my Yahoo will store all the wrong email addresses and I have to go in and edit and delete them. I just had to delete some people there was one guy that wouldn't let me delete him and I don't know why. We got into a fight. We have different political views. Well, we didn't get into a fight. He did typical stuff from the other side of the aisle from where I am and made a bunch of unnecessary remarks. So we're just not friends. We were teetering anyways. I think he used me more than anything else for comedy shows, but so Keith, just create a different. Oh wait, let me write that. You can figure out the very last piece of it. Yeah, yeah, definitely no crown for him. You can figure out the last part of that. Try it again, but create a new profile. I mean, a new contact, not profile, a new contact. And that way, if we can get this worked out, I'll send you something. Um, um, are you in South Africa? Is that where you're at, Keith? Or are you here in the States? Who is that? Somebody's from South Africa that go away, spam. I'm busy. Wisconsin, that's where you're at. You want this? This is the first pin I made for Ted Nugent, but it didn't come out perfect, so I didn't send it to him. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been trying to figure out what to do with this. You want that? I'll send that to you. It works. It has like a bullet on the end, and it has a bolt action thing. See, a little bolt action. All right. Yeah, you give me your address and I'll send that to you, Keith. There we go. For years now, I've been trying to figure out what to do with that. Oh, it's a dope ass pin. It just has a slight imperfection. And since I was sending it to Ted Nugent, I was not going to send him one. It's no fault of mine. It's just inside the blank, but there's a little fuzzy spot. I mean, you can't feel it, but you can see it. But that's the only thing wrong with it. But since I was sending it to Ted Nugent, I didn't want to send him any kind of imperfection. So I'll send you that, dude. Now make sure the cartridge is in it is good. Oh, normally I can't do this with people when I send them pins. When the ink runs out and you have to replace it, you just unscrew the tip here, and it comes out just like that. You can get it at any office supply store. My personal pens, I buy these, they're called space pens. They write upside down. They write in ink. They write in water. Make sure you don't lose the spring. Well, even if he can't write, at least he can tell his friends, look at my dope ass pen. So writing is not a requirement. uh, Or Gary, what if I sent it to him and he sent it back going, I can't write. Why would you do that? Why would you send me a pen I can't use? Oh, Gary, that ghost voice, that was insane, dude. I know I told you in the email, but holy shit. I could not believe how loud that was. Yeah, American schools aren't quite that bad. We do learn how to write. It's usually doodling and not what we're told to write, but we learn how to write. I can still write cursive. I'm a little snooty. Not only can I write it, I can read it. And Keith, the warning that I have to give everybody, I mean, you're not buying this pen, but I have to tell everybody, because I have people that buy really expensive pens for me and then have the absent of mind to let someone borrow it. Don't do that. Yeah, Desmond, I don't think they teach that anymore. That's been a topic of conversation that it needs to be taught in school. Gary, I honestly didn't know at first, but when I played that video or the spot and I could hear it, I was like, man, I tripped hard. And then we played it on the TV so we could have it up really loud. We can't make out what he was saying, but you can hear that voice without a doubt. That's a smart man. When I first started building circuit board pins, I can buy the blanks now, but when I very first started doing it, I handmade the blanks. So I charged $150 per pin because I had to make the blank. The first 2 people that bought them, the first guy let somebody borrow it and then came back upset because it got stolen, and he ended up buying another one. But I think it went out before that, dude. I don't know if either one of my kids I don't know if either one of them had cursive. I think they can both do it, but I don't think they were taught it in school. My son was actually mad after he graduated because there's a lot of stuff they don't teach y'all that you need to know. And my circuit board pins were really expensive when I was hand making them. My antler pins are very expensive because they have a high fail rate. Oddly enough, one of the most expensive pins I sell is made with a master blank. Crazy expensive. It has a high failure rate. Gary, let me design something, and if you like it, I'll do that for you. And now that you got PayPal, that helps. Well, my kids are 26 and 30. She'll be like No, he just turned 27 because she'll be 31. Uh, that's good, Desmond. I'm glad you have a father of mine to teach you. My parents were that way, and once I got interested in history, I really took off. But in college, I actually went to my um, one of my college professors, and I got onto him. I was like, dude, this is college. How can you just skip over slavery and the Holocaust? You made it sound like it wasn't that bad. That's the curriculum. That's how we teach it. No, that's how you teach kids in elementary school. But by junior high, high school, definitely college, we need to be discussing all what, and they kind of skip over the wars too. No wonder kids are confused. You need to understand how bad, how horrible it was. I mean, you ain't got to show all the gross pictures, but I think it's effective, but it is sad. I was stunned. I mean, we blew across slavery or that whole era in the 1800s to the early 1900s crazy quick. And we blew over World War II like it was nothing. I'm like, man, this is college. We're paying you an ass load of money. We need to be talking about this. Yes, that is true, Keith. I remember watching Roots when I think I watched it the first time in maybe it was third grade or fifth grade. We lived on Washington Street. 803 West Washington is where we lived. And I lived there from third to fifth grade, which is why I'm confused. I can't remember if I saw it. I know we lived there when Elvis died. I saw Kiss on the Hal Linden Halloween special. That's part of it, Gary. And another thing is teachers are more focused on teaching children to pass the test so they can keep their jobs instead of just teaching the kids. When we were kids, we were taught. And then when we took those stupid ass tests, we could pass them because we were taught the lessons. But now the teachers are so afraid of losing their jobs, they simply teach the test. That's not teaching the kids. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They're so distracted, and it's not all of them. I don't want to shit on all teachers. There are some fantastic teachers out there. Yeah. Yep. There are some amazing teachers still out there, but there's a lot of them where it's just a job. And that if you're looking at teaching as just a job, you shouldn't be a teacher. I was going to be a teacher until my good Christian schools rounded up the poop chute. That is exactly right, Gary. All of us around this age, that's how we were taught. And I think it's sad that they teach them. And that whole, and I had to break my son of that really bad. He was harder to break than my daughter was. Everybody's a winner. No, everybody is not a winner. I hate the fact that they teach that in school. And another thing they teach in school that I can't stand is he said he's sorry, forgive him. I used to tell my kids, you jump off the side of a building and yell sorry and watch what it changes. That's right. Nothing. And if a kid's being forced to tell another kid that they're sorry, they don't mean it. And forcing someone to accept a forced apology, that's pretty bad too. I hope I don't lose my monetization. Because I did say that H word I'm not supposed to say. I lost it last time we talked about that. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. I cannot tell you how many times I got spanked in school. Okay, I haven't lost it yet, so woohoo! Yep, that's exactly right, Gary. Ooh. Yeah, nuns were pretty bad. I never had none, but I know people that went to Catholic schools and they got it by the nuns. Um, yeah, Desmond, it does mean a lot to, and that was my whole goal with being a teacher. If I could change one kid's life, and I know I impacted as a substitute teacher, I impacted a lot of kids, but I wanted to be a teacher because I think about the teacher that taught me to read, Mrs. Glass, one of the most special, important people in my life. I could read when I started third grade, but she taught me how to read and comprehend. One of the most special people ever to me. We were friends as adults. And then Coach Giacchino, both of them are passed away now. He lit the fire in me for history because when he taught history, it was exciting. He made that shit come alive. So you have teachers that literally change your lives. And a lot of them don't know that because they don't get any appreciation. So when someone comes up and says, you had an impact on me. And I have a lot of people do not as a well, I guess it's kind of teaching. I help a lot of people with addiction and stuff like that. I just had a guy contact me. I guess it's been 2.5 years. I helped him and he's still doing well. And that was amazing to me that he thought to contact me. And he said he didn't know if I ever remembered him. Of course I remember. Damn. Oh, dude. uh, in second grade in Ocala, Florida, I had a teacher named Mrs. Bloodsoe, and she firmly believed in spanking you with on the palm of your hand with a ruler. I was stunned. Now, I grew up in an abusive home of the early part of my life, so I could take a spanking, but when that woman spanked my hand with the ruler, I was stunned. I wasn't sure how to react, but she didn't use my ruler. She had her own special wooden ruler. And when she lit into my hand, woo! And it wasn't just like two or three. She tore that bad boy up. I've been spanked with paddles, belts. The worst spanking I ever got was by my Texas history teacher, Mr. Wolf. He used to work at the boys. I never got with this. I never got it with that. Uh, Paddles, sticks, switches. And the reason I said sticks is you bring back a little twig when you're told to go pick your own switch. I agree with that, Gary. I agree with that 100%. Um, there are so many rules. And see, I was actually going to start a YouTube channel for kids because I'm really good at teaching children. But there's so much red tape involved in that and so many ways for you to lose not just your channel, but all access to YouTube. it's not worth the issue. And there's people that do it, and I'm happy for them. But I'm not going to lose what I've got because somebody got upset. But I was all ready to start the channel. I already picked a name for it. I was going to name it after my history teacher who got me into history. It was going to be called Coach G's class. His name's Giacchino, but we called him Coach G. But I was going to call my channel Coach G's class. Yes, Keith, that is true. And I think what Trump's doing about trying to put it back into the state's hands, absolutely, because this whole umbrella thing and no kid left behind, that's garbage. And another thing is parents with special needs kids demanding that their kids be put in regular classes. That's just wrong. And I'm not talking about for the regular kids. I'm talking about for your child that has special needs. They need to be in a class where they can get the attention that they need and be with their peers so that they don't feel like an outcast or anything. Oh, man, I can't imagine being caned, but I do not think they give spankings in school now because of parents. If I'm not mistaken, they do not do it because of parents. But I don't know. Savannah. Savannah, come here. I'll ask.
Yeah.
Do they still spank in school?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I think you have to get permission, though.
No, you've always had to get permission.
But no, I don't think they do.
Okay. I didn't think they did either.
I think they made a law that it's allowed to.
Something like that. Yeah, she said that they don't. And then she said she thinks they have to get permission, which they've always had to get permission here. But there's so many of those crappy parents that won't give permission. You're not going to spank my child. Your child needs it. I promise you. And like here, all the cameras that are watching classes and stuff, the parent can still see their child doing what they're doing, and they'll try to justify it. That is exactly right, Gary. That is 100% correct. And my parents defended me when I was in the right, which was not often. But for me being wrong, like all the fights, acting up, they would not at all. In Germany, I had gotten in enough fights at one point that I was told if I got in another fight, they would send us back to the States and bust my dad. And I ended up standing there taking an ass kicking over it. Oh, we didn't have nothing like that. Wow. Yeah, we definitely didn't have no shower stuff here. I mean, you're supposed to take a shower after gym, but none of us did. Oh. Are you sure it's Keith and not you? Yeah, I have my mailbox pulled up, my Yahoo mailbox, to see if it I don't know if Keith tried to say anything. I'm looking in spam right now. Boy, I get some garbage. All right, I do not see anything from Keith, so I'm deleting all of this. Oh, I should have blocked them. Ugh. I hate that on my phone now I can't block senders. Oh, Desmond, that's why I just switched. And I'm not happy with it. I switched to Android. I've got the Galaxy 25 or something like that. I've always had iPhone. Well, once I went to iPhone, I stayed with iPhone. I regret leaving iPhone now. But I sure did love my iPhone. Ugh. I may have to take a break or teach Savannah how to make coffee. Really? I've been responding to your messages. I see that Gary, last message I saw was Keith has moved to all messages now, stupid messages. And then although some kids can be out of control shits in school, but the parents won't have a word said against them. Oh, oh man. But I've been responding to your comments. I just don't know if I'm seeing all of them now that you said that. I like to think that I am. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure, Desmond. You're probably right. I don't know for a fact. As far as elementary school, I know they don't do it in the upper grades. But yeah, and I don't think most parents are going to give permission, which is why you see some teachers snapping on kids, which I don't think there's any justifiable excuse for that. Well, snapping on a kid, no. Defending yourself, I absolutely see that because I've seen videos, I promise you. If your kid did that to me, when you collected him up, you know he was not going to act up like that again. And if you had something to say about it, well, you could go with him. You will settle down really quick as well. Yeah, they should. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think if you teach, well, I don't think, I know, if you teach younger children respect and give them discipline, they will grow in to be better people. Not all, there are exceptions to every rule. But by this whole, oh, my kid can do whatever, and I'm going to defend them, you're teaching the kid the wrong things. And a lot of parents are garbage. It's crazy that in life, human beings are the only thing you can create on your own accident. I don't know why he's not crown number 3. Unless it's because he doesn't come as often as y'all do. Y'all have been around for a whole minute. I don't know. I don't know if I can make someone. I don't know if I can give them a crown. Let me see. No, I can't. I can't give him a crown. No, that's something. Oh wait. Oh, that's what Keith was talking about. You gotta have a certain amount of experience points. I guess that's what XP stands for. And I don't guess Desmond has enough experience points. Oh, oh, oh. So will I make it for 39 more minutes without having to go get coffee or water? Or will I have to go get coffee and water? We'll see. Oh, absolutely, Delsman. That's just it. These kids are doing that because there is no fear for going home. They might get yelled at a little bit, but there's no serious punishment. Because if there was, they wouldn't be doing that. Well, there are exceptions, like my brother did it. Oh, yes, I know. And we raised our children to make decisions for themselves. When I took my kids over to high school for them to pick their classes, the parents that are in there picking their children's classes, putting them in AP classes, that's insane. That is exactly right, Gary. It's the experience. And I think next week, if you beat Keith here, maybe you will be number one, because according to this, you both have 75. Oh, never mind. Keith is smoking you now. He has 100 experience points and you only have 75. So he is just leaving you in the dust. Embarrassing. Way to go, Keith. Good on you, man. The crown is top fans. We don't know. It's something new YouTube just started, Desmond. I don't even know how it works. But every time you make a message, you get 25 points, I guess. How's he doing, Gary? Is he at least headed in the right direction? Yeah, Desmond, I don't really know, dude. I don't know how it works. I just notice every time he makes a comment, it goes up. So I don't know. Have any of y'all been around my videos long enough to remember me falling asleep on camera? Because I used to shoot all my reactions on one day. I still do, but I don't shoot them like I used to. But there's some of the comments. Are you asleep? Because I just left it in and posted the video. I think that I feel that's good news. That's progress. I mean, 3 weeks sounds like a long time, but that's exactly what they thought, Desmond. Exactly. I've had people leaving comments. Why don't you get some coffee? Keith, you probably know just as much about this top fan stuff as I do, because I don't really know anything about it. Gary's isn't going up, and Gary's making comments. Huh. But you're up to 150. You've doubled his score. I don't know. But yeah, Desmond, they definitely got pissed thinking that's why I was falling asleep. I was tired. Now, granted, there's some boring songs, and there's some long songs. Yeah, but if they're not paying you anything, how the hell is that going to? I mean, are you going to put it on a job resume? Yeah. Special skill. I was top fan on 6 days. I smoked the other guy's ass. So as you can see, I'm definitely management material. I don't know that it's working now, Keith. I think they figured out that you figured out what they're doing. Because now you're stuck at 150. You're not going up. All right, Gary, here's your moment. Light it up, man. Yeah, you're stuck at 150. Gary's stuck at 75. Oh my goodness. Oh. Guess who gets to change the spark plugs in his car this week? And I know you're thinking, well, why didn't you do it when you did your alternator? I was pretty pissed off and tired by the time I finished my alternator. That's why that guy. Love me tender, love me true. I just shed my pants for my darling. I need some toilet paper and a new pair of pants. Try it. Oh, you started at 75. Put it on there. I put one time on a job application in the 80s, it asked what were my goals in life. And I said to juggle 4 chili cheese hot dogs while I eat one without making a mess. They didn't ask me to try it. They found it humorous and hired me. Desmond, were you laughing at my song, my Elvis song? I've ruined an Elvis. Well, it's actually a Dean Martin song, but I do Elvis's version of it. I've ruined it for my family because nobody in my family can hear that song without hearing the way I sing it. And most of them sing it that way when they hear it. Well, I ruin a lot of songs for a lot of people. I'm a special guy, in case you haven't realized. You know, Keith, you could always put on there for references, you can have them call me. But then again, I don't really answer calls I don't know. That would be awesome, Gary. Yes, I need money, dipshit. Right. That is exactly right, Desmond. I don't know. Gary, well, maybe that's why Gary does it, because he does get a lot of blocked. They do block him a lot. Yeah. And they don't like when they say, what is your goals with our company? To be in your job in a year. It didn't take you much longer than that to earn this position, right? What are your good traits? I'm brutally honest. They don't like that. Oh, or you're doing a job interview and they go, why do you want to work for us? I'm glad you asked that. Reach in your coat and pull out this 3-page answer. Well, I've been researching your company. I see that although you're not Fortune 500 yet, I feel that you will be. And I think that I can help you get there because I feel that I would be an intricate cog in the engine that is your company. I can propel you into the future. And I'm a real go-getter. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, G? Or just jump up, flip his desk over. Why you give me static, man? Be glad I'm here. Yeah, exactly. No, nobody's ever asked me my weak points. They always ask me my strong points. And when I say, I got a mean pimp hand, that doesn't seem to impress them much. That don't impress me much. Oh, there's no Canadians here. Nobody gives a shit if I sing Shania Twain or not. I always tell them I'm brutally honest. I don't have to be watched. I don't steal. I'm always on time. In 26 and a half years at Walmart, I've been late twice. Once because I wasn't going to go in, but the manager wouldn't put in my time for me. So I said, piss on it. You ain't going to put in my time. I'm not taking a day without pay. And if I'm going to drive up there to put my time in, I might as well just stay at work. So I was late that day, and I was late because of an accident that shut down the entire highway. I called them and told them the highway is shut down. We had a 6-minute window. I showed up 7 minutes. So 1 minute past the window, and they held me up, accountable for that. Yeah. That really don't surprise me, Desmond. They don't care. That's the sad truth. Nobody cares. And in the state of Texas, I don't know if it's everywhere else, but in the state of Texas, no company, and I'm not saying this wrong, you can look it up, is required to give you a lunch break at all. No breaks, because Texas is a right to work state. That changed here a while back. Now, Walmart's still smart enough to give us 2 little breaks, but nobody in the state of Texas has to give you a lunch break. It is wild, especially when you think of how long some people have to work. And they all really thought it was odd. And I understand why Walmart took away the lunch break, because they used to give 2 breaks, one before your lunch break, and then after. They cut out the lunch break. I don't get one. I get a 20-minute break and a 15-minute break later in the day. Oh, I carry my water with me. I carry this on my lift. But Gary, they used to give a 30-minute break, but they figured out it was taking it over an hour for that break, and they were losing all of that time. So they cut out the lunch break, and you still get the 20-minute break and the 15-minute break. And people were losing their damn minds. And they're coming at me, and I don't get upset about shit like that. So they were screaming. I said, you don't have to put up with it. And they're like, right. I was like, you can hit that clock and go home. But it's not a but. It's their sandbox, their rules. You don't have to play with them. You can just leave. Wow. Yeah, I think it is actually, in my opinion, is more beneficial to an employer to give you a 1-hour lunch break without the other 2 little breaks, a 1-hour lunch break. I don't think cigarette breaks should be allowed or required. They're not, but a lot of people let them do that. Smoke on your break. Why do you get extra breaks so you go smoke cigarettes? I don't get an extra break so I can just go sit around and watch people, check my Facebook. But I tell people all the time, you don't like the rules, leave. It's literally that simple. Go somewhere else. Go flip burgers at McDonald's. Get that $15 an hour. They pay us well to be here. And we only work 3 days a week. So $30 an hour, 3 days a week, full-time. I'm working full-time hours. So Even though I hate Walmart, I'm not going to leave. I can't go anywhere else and work 3 days a week with a set schedule. Yeah. Yep. $30 an hour. I'll go back to sanitation because I'm waiting for the guy to retire. I'll go back to sanitation. I'll make a little more because I get different bonuses. That's exactly right, Gary. That is exactly right. That's how I feel about that. Really? And you live in Texas, Desmond? Well, that's true too, Keith. Oh, Desmond, do you live near a distribution center? Don't apply at the stores. Oh, Houston. Oh God, dude. Uh, I know we got a DC somewhere down there in that general area. Apply at the distribution. Well, you have to do it online now. You don't go in and apply. Apply. Find out what the distribution center is in that area. Apply there. They always hire off the street for order fillers. They have a high turnover rate. It's a shitty job. You'll get used to it really quick, but it starts at 20 something dollars an hour. And if you can get on the weekend shift, which is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, a lot of kids don't like that, but that gives you 4 days a week every off. And I'm not pro Walmart, but it's money. It's good money for working 3 days a week. It'll be here. Let me see if I can Google it. I gotta put my glasses on for a second to look. Oh wow, that's a huge one. Oh, dude. I'm not exactly sure where you live in Houston. No, they do not need welders. Keith, the guys who weld for Walmart, they're in maintenance and they have to do other shit as well. There's a whole laundry list of what you have to do there. Shit. Desmond, how far away from New Caney do you live? That's the closest one to you. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Not New Caney, Baytown. Baytown looks closer. Gary, yeah, there's certain stores like we have a Walmart store that's 20 miles that way, and they are super nice. They are the epitome of what Walmart wants their employees to be. The one here in my town where I live, they suck. There's some good people there, but the majority of them suck. They're rude. But Keith, that's how that you do that at Walmart. Oh, okay. 30 minutes is not bad. I drive 45 minutes to work. Baytown is our international distribution center, and it is ginormous. It's huge. They ship stuff overseas and all that stuff. But if you go on the website, let me see. I'll see if it gives me the number. I don't know what distribution center number it is. All right. Well, it doesn't give the number of because all the distribution centers have a number. So if you just Google Walmart distribution center Baytown, and they would be surprised I'm recommended because I tell them all the time I do not recommend Walmart to anyone. but it pays really well. And if you can get in on the weekend shift where you only work 3 days a week, it's very easy to tolerate. You have to be in position for, except for interviews. Interview position is different, but you have to be in position for a year before you get transferred out of it. So in that year, you constantly watch for other jobs. But order filling is the shittiest job, but you get used to it quick because that's all you do. And then after that, sanitation is the best job to have at a Walmart distribution center. Maintenance pays really well. But oh yeah. But yeah, 30 minutes is worth the drive, dude. It's worth a 30-minute drive. But yeah, make sure you put on your application that you don't have a crown, but you're working on getting one on my Facebook page. And I'm sure they'll understand. But as much as I don't like the company, I've been in for over 26 years. And as somebody I was talking to the other day pointed out, it can't be that bad if you've stuck around. I can tolerate pretty much anything for 3 days. So I got to step off camera for a second. Okay. Yeah, you have crowns. Everybody like, why are you applying for a job? But yeah, Desmond, if you're desperate for a job, it pays really well. The distribution centers pay better than the stores. We've had managers leave stores to come work for us. Not as managers either. But if you can kiss enough ass, you can move up the ladder really quick. I ain't interested in that because they abuse their managers. But the pay. Oh, really? That's pretty wild. Huh. Yeah, so do that, dude. If you're already used to warehouse, but I tell my daughter she went to work at HEB, which is a competitor right next to us, the distribution center. I told her how to order fill. She went in, order filled so well, and she knew how much I like sanitation. So when they offered her a different job, she said she was interested in sanitation. She went into sanitation, and now she's moved up into a better job already, and they're talking about moving her up again. So but yeah, Desmond, especially if you're still a young dude, because I started at Walmart when I was 32. They got 401k. There's all sorts of benefits to it. Health. There's medical, dental, vision. But I would never recommend working at a store, but the distribution center is definitely worth it. And within 2 years, you max out. So depending on your job, you could be up to $30 an hour. Well, it's also based on where the location where you live. So it could be even higher for the Houston area. But within 2 years, you max out. 10 years, you become fully vested. So I receive my Walmart discount for the rest of my life. Yeah, Keith, I was working at Walmart when Y2K happened, and that stuff was just such a joke. Oh, the dude, you'll be okay. You won't have that issue. Walmart supplies during the hot months, they supply water. Our DCs there's other DCs that were already air conditioned. And if you can tolerate cold, go to the perishable side. That pays even more. You get extra money for being imperishable. You get even more money if you can go in the freezer. The freezer sucks. It's cold, cold, cold. The ice cream room is 30 below zero. If you don't keep blinking, your eyes will freeze. It's like 14 in the regular freezer side. And then it goes up from there. But yeah, in the 26 years I've been in the ice cream room 3 times. The first time was just curiosity to see if it was really that bad. It is. I think it's raining here. And pretty hard. Yes, it is raining really hard here right now. Well, for me, I don't like the cold. I can do dairy deli, which is where yogurt and that kind of cheese, that eggs, that kind of shit's at. The meat room's not too bad. It's just above freezing and you're working, so it's not that bad. I will tell you, almost everyone that goes into the freezer, if they stay long enough to get acclimated, they love it. They call them freezer dogs. Most of those guys that get acclimated to that stay in there because they're maxed out on all their bonus money. I prefer and it's not so bad now that we have the air conditioners. They've started air conditioning our side during the summer months because of how hot it is. But that Baytown, DC is huge. Yeah, and let me stress, Keith, you can do it, especially if you're younger. As bad as I hate it, I've stayed for over 26 years. I've made a good living doing it, good enough that my daughter is doing the same thing just for a competitor. And she loves it, and she kicks ass at what she does. She's like me. She's very aggressive, a very ass-kicking worker. Keith, Y2K was never going to be a problem. It was just like, if you stop and think about all the bullshit over the years that they have told us. Remember in the late 70s? Oh, we burned a hole in the ozone. We're going to freeze to death. Another ice age is coming because of the propellant in our aerosol cans. So they changed the propellant. It didn't heal anything. It didn't change anything, but now we're not talking about that. There was a solar panel off of some satellite, and I want to say this is like 79. It's so big that if it doesn't land in the ocean, it could knock the Earth off its axis. Those are real things that they've tried to scare everybody about. Yes, they said that the computers would stop working because they couldn't count beyond 2000, which I knew was bullshit. And if you stop and think about it, and the way I was telling people is, it was literally New Year's at some point all around the world. New Year's had been happening all around the world. So by the time our New Year's got here, not one person admitted a problem or reported a problem. It's just bullshit to get everybody worked up. There was just no way that was factual. Global warming. The Earth goes through heating and cooling cycles. It heats up, it cools down. It's happened hundreds of times. They actually have proof that it's happened. But that's not the popular thing. And the people telling you we need to reduce our carbon footprint, meanwhile, they're flying all over the world in their private planes and jets and stuff. So it's all fear. It's just keep people worked up. They realized that it worked all the way back in the 1800s when slavery ended. There's going to be an uprising. Really? I don't see one. But over and over, it's always something new. They try to find the new thing to scare everybody. That's why I don't get all wrapped up in that stuff. I don't jump on the bandwagons and like, oh my God. Doesn't concern me at all. So yes, Desmond, if you go on, you search, you can find out how to put an application in, you put the application online. I don't know if they still do it. They used to have a 3-interview process. If you got the 3rd interview, you were hired. You will have to do a random PP test. Well, it's not random. You'll be doing a PP test to get hired. After that, unless you have a high dollar accident, you don't have to worry about it. That is exactly right, Gary. The whole COVID thing, same thing. And what COVID was doing was getting people used to being compliant, doing what they're told to do. You be good little citizens and sit down and do what we tell you to do. I worked all through COVID. The only time I wore a mask is when I had to at work. I had COVID 3 times. And even the first time I had it wasn't that bad. And the only reason I knew I had it or figured out I had it is because I had 2 of the symptoms. But I never went to the hospital for it. Oh no, that was the second time I had it. Anyways, and then the third time I had it, I didn't know I had it. My daughter had to tell me, that sounds like I had it 3 times, and that sounds like what I had. But they blew that shit so far out of proportion. I only wore a mask at work when I had to. And if I went in a Walmart store, because I worked for Walmart, and if somebody said I gave them COVID, Walmart could get sued. So whenever I was in Walmart, I wore a mask. But other than that, I did not wear a mask. I argue with that. I think people are stupid for wearing those masks, especially the little paper ones. That's not going to protect you from anything. And I built up my immunity, I guess, because I know people that get it and it don't bother me. But that was blown way out of proportion, scaring people. They amped up those numbers. Yes, Gary, that's the point exactly. The people that ceased to exist had other problems. I'm not saying COVID did not complicate those. I firmly believe it did. But healthy people like me weren't kicking off. I didn't take any medicine. I didn't go to the doctor and get something. I sure didn't get stuck. I didn't take it either. How can you trust something that has no testing or very little testing? And when they're making people take it, I kept pointing out there are illegal substances that are illegal. You can go to jail, but people like those and they do them because they work. If you're having to make a law or make rules and make people take stuff, it's not worth taking. There wasn't enough help or enough testing. The fact they kept hawking that shit long after it was over. I mean, they finally stopped the commercials. I just got tired of them, but I didn't take it. And I refused to take it. And I told my doctor I would not take it. And I explained why I would not take it. And she couldn't argue with me. I did my research. Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. But it was insane. But I don't worry. Uh-oh, I think I have it right now. Okay, I feel better. Well, yeah. All right, so now that I've had it 4 times, y'all saw me recover how quick I bounced back. Keith, don't forget to try to send me your address, dude. Oh, Walmart had threatened to make us take it, and I told them I quit. I wasn't the only one. There was mass walkout threat. They decided they'll go ahead and squash that. But they were not going to stick me. Nope, nope, nope. But anyways, fellas, we're winding down. I appreciate y'all being here. If you ain't old enough to remember Carol Burnett and what that means. I mean, she did that for her grandma. I wonder what she did for her grandpa. Thanks for watching, Papa. All right, before we go, let me look at top fans. Ooh, tied. Gary and Keith tied at 150 apiece. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, man. Y'all made it. There wasn't a lot of us, and that's what I point out all the time. I just want good conversations. Nobody got upset. We had a great conversation. It didn't cut out. Just a really good time. It's like hanging out with my friends. I don't want to have like no agenda. I just want the conversation to be fluid. Oh, my doctor did, Gary. After we argued about it and I explained why I would not do it, she had all 3 shots. And the last time I got it, when I went to my appointment, I said, yeah, I had COVID, but I only had the symptoms for like 2 days and then were barely any. I just had a little scratchy throat. She was like, I thought I was going to die. Like, oh, wait, but you had the shots. You had all the shots. Aw, look at me. Anyways, I appreciate y'all so much. We'll do it again next week. Same Bob time, same Bob channel. I hope y'all have a great week. Make someone laugh if you get the chance. Gary, tell Brandy I'm thinking about him. Positive vibes, keeping him in my prayers. Got a go gadget. And if I need to send him another message me and let me know. Yeah. Y'all have to do the hand, paper, scissors. Because I automatically win because it's my video. But anyways, thank you so much, guys. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.